The Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal has begun hearing petitions by several opposition candidates challenging Bola Tinubu's victory. It's the start of a case that could offer up high-stakes drama, with Action Alliance withdrawing its petition and the court adjourning Peter Obi's petition to Wednesday. The PDP's Atiku Abubakar is also seeking live broadcast of court proceedings. Our Eyes correspondent Godfrey Eshemuge has more.
Security was beefed up at the headquarters of the Court of Appeal, which is the Presidential Election Petition Court, as nearby road intersections were cut off to traffic to ward off potential threat to security. Thorough checks were carried out on all vehicles that accessed the premises. The court was packed full with senior advocates and other lawyers fully present to represent their clients. Justice Haruna Tamani, in his welcome speech, urged counsels to shun all conduct that could amount to avoidable waste of time of the court, while pleading for maximum cooperation as he assures of commitment to hear and determine all petitions on their merit. The first activity of the five-member panel was to strike out the petition of the Action Alliance AA after its withdrawal. Factional chairman of the party, Adekunle Rufai, said the petition was against INEC's mode of conduct of the polls and not against Tinubu's victory, and that the proposed policies of the president-elect resonate with what the party leadership holds dear.
This petition was in the main an attempt to bring INEC back to appreciate that no matter how powerful they are, they cannot disobey court orders. About 8 judgments told INEC that this man standing beside me is the national chairman of the party and not any other person. 2 federal high courts told INEC that they must deal with the list he submits and upload them as candidates in the election. INEC ignored all the orders, including the orders of the Court of Appeal, which said the man you are dealing with is not even a member of the party.
One of the reasons advanced by some of our leaders as well is the belief in the ability of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, being a proponent of restructuring, which has been one major reason why we have the barrage of agitation in our land today. We evolved a kind of policy that could engender resurgence of trust in our togetherness as a national entity. Truth be told, our country, Nigeria today, is at the precipice. We need a personality that believes in policies that can repose trust in the aggrieved indigenous nationalities.
Following that, there were pre-hearing sessions for the Action People's Party, APP, which says it will not withdraw its petition, and that by Peter Obi's Labour Party, with the court fixing Wednesday 10th May for continuation. The pre-hearing for the People's Democratic Party, PDP, holds Tuesday.
I am a lawyer. I have the consent of my clients, however it is. So if going forward they give me an instruction, I will take the instruction. But as of today, we are going on and we are strongly coming back on the 10th of May. That's Wednesday, for the continuation of the pre-hearing session.
One way or the other, I do not think that it will be business as usual as far as Nigeria's electoral jurisprudence is concerned. And we have assured the court that we will do all that we can to ensure that these petitions are heard expeditiously.
On our part, all the lawyers for all the parties also committed themselves to cooperating with the tribunal, the court, to make sure that these matters are dealt with urgently because of their national importance. So we are very happy today 3 petitions have been dealt with and 2 to come up tomorrow, and the very important ones, the Atiku and PDP petition will be coming up.
The pre-hearing session for the Allied People's Movement, APM, also holds on Tuesday as the Presidential Election Petition Court tidies up the documents before it as it gets clarity on the number of witnesses and exhibits that will be tendered for the petition proceedings when it gets fully underway. Godfrey Eshemuge, Arise News.
All right, we're joined now by the former chairman, Nigerian Bar Association in the FCT, Bulos Atsen. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this is a pre-hearing. Help us understand what this pre-hearing today was all about, the key issues that came up, especially the prayers of the two key parties, the PDP and the APC. Help us understand what really happened today.
Well, it's a great thing that the Election Petition Tribunal has commenced its proceedings today, to the relief of most Nigerians, actually. To the relief of most Nigerians. And what happened today at the court is the pretrial session, which is going to last for 14 days based on the provisions of the Electoral Act. And in the course of the pretrial hearing, the tribunal will attend to preliminary issues or interlocutory issues, as I would rather call them, and also carry out some other proceedings like settling documents, settling the issues that are to be deliberated in the course of the main proceedings. And this is necessary in order to remove every clock that may stall or affect the hearing of the main proceedings.
Right, does it mean the 180 days required to hear and dispose of this case? Does it start officially today, or it's been on already before?
No, it started officially
today.
Yes.
Okay, so, all right.
So now let's, sometimes people may not, once cases are in court, we have to be very careful how we sketch around them. So I understand. But again, make sense of what exactly happened today when the Labour Party has been told that it will be heard on Wednesday. Some people may not understand the full import of what that means.
Okay, so as I said earlier on, it's a pretrial conference arrangement, and we had 5 political parties that were challenging the conduct of the 2023 presidential election. But at the commencement of the pre-hearing today, AA withdrew its application, consequent upon which the tribunal dismissed its application. So we're left with 4. And the pretrial conference, it's a series of procedures that is a bit lengthy, but all geared towards shortening the time that will be spent in the main proceedings. So the court will take each petition one at a time. It will take that of the Labour Party, pre-trial, take that of the APM, pre-trial, take that of the PDP, pre-trial, just in that manner until all that needs to be done is done.
Right. Okay, let's talk about the cause for the live transmission of the tribunal hearings. I mean, the PDP says, look, this case is political in nature, and so Nigerians really should be allowed to be more than a fly on the wall in the courtrooms. Help us understand the need for that and what that would actually do to the case as a whole, if that were allowed to fly.
Okay, so let me start by making reference to the statement that was made by the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Yakubu Chenoko-Mekyo, SAN, at the NBA's National Executive Committee meeting, which held at Birnin Kebbi. Now, that was where the NBA made a strong proposal for the live telecast of the presidential election petition tribunal proceedings. And I'm quite happy that the PDP has taken steps towards formally applying for it. I wished other political parties in the proceeding will do same. And the reason is not far-fetched. For a start, going by the provisions of the Constitution, Section 36 sub 1 provides that the public has the right to attend court sittings. Not just the Constitution, the rules of procedure for election tribunals, I think Rule 19 or thereabout, also makes provision for that, permitting the public to participate in the election petition. And we all know that in every electoral process, there are different stakeholders. You have INEC, you have civil society organizations, you have political parties, you have the candidates themselves. And then the important stakeholder is the general public, without which there will be no elections. So the general public is a critical stakeholder that needs to be given the opportunity to participate in the proceedings of the tribunal. I mean, the tribunal is basically going to consider the votes that were cast by the public. So it has to be given the opportunity to see how decisions that are hinged on their actions will be taken. And that should be done physically or remotely. At this level, Nigeria is matured enough to give room or make provision for live telecast of an epoch event like the proceedings of the presidential election tribunal. Courts like the
Can you walk us very
national...
quickly, in 60 seconds or so, through the different stages that the tribunal is expected to go through until it makes its final declaration on the issues?
Okay, so this is what commenced today is the pre-trial hearing or pre-hearing conference, whichever way you call it, means the same thing. After this process, which will last for 2 weeks, the tribunal will then give a report which will serve as a roadmap for the remaining hearing of the proceedings of the tribunal. After that is done, it will then go into hearing. After that, that is where witnesses will be called. Documents that are not tendered in the course of the pretrial process will be tendered through the witnesses, and the witnesses will be cross-examined by the opposing parties. After all that is done, parties will file their written addresses, giving perspectives to the facts that have been brought before the court, the facts and the laws that have been brought before the court. After then, we wait for the D-Day.
And it doesn't have to take 180 days, does it?
Not necessarily. If the court is able to manage its processes and do that within 20 days, I mean, that will be fine. But I can assure you that the process is daunting enough to take almost the entire 180 days.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for your time, Bullet Atsen.
Thank you, sir.